Welcome. I'm Heather. Thanks so much for joining me for restorative yoga tonight. We're going to get started in a lying down position. If you want to just make sure you have everything you need to be comfortable, you might want a blanket, cushion. You might want to put something over your eyes. And as you slowly come onto your back, transitioning, letting your back settle into the floor. If you'd like, you can keep your knees bent, your feet on the floor here. And starting to tune into your breath flowing through your body. The first few breaths, just tune into your natural breath. Try not to change anything at this time, just tuning into how you're breathing. It's kind of hard when we start to focus on the breath to let the natural breath just be. But just see if you can allow it to do its own thing for now. And keeping your eyes softly closed or covering your eyes. And each breath, you can begin to slow down a little bit more. But just think of helping your breath instead of completely controlling it or overriding it. Just helping your breath maintain a slow, steady rhythm, both on the inhale and the exhale. You might notice a natural pause at the top of your in-breath. And you might notice a natural pause at the end of your out-breath. You can accentuate that pause a little bit if it feels comfortable to do so. And wait when you are using your breath like this in order to really tune into the natural breath a bit more. You can notice when your body wants to breathe in, allow it to happen. Widen through your body a little bit more on the inhale to allow the breath to fill those spaces. Pause slightly at the top of your inhalation. And allow lots of time for the exhalation. And again, balancing the effort and effortless way to breathe. See if you can find balance here. If you want to, for the next few breaths, exhale out through your mouth. And you can make a soft sighing sound. On your inhalation, deepening it a little bit more and pausing at the top of your in-breath a few seconds longer. And then releasing through your mouth. We're going to continue with that, and this time do just a little bit different breathing technique. So we're going to inhale, sink it all the way down, and then not to your full capacity, but pause, and then see if you can bring in a little bit more breath before you exhale, and just a little bit more breath, and then a little tiny pause, and a little bit more breath. And you're bringing it maybe up your body. You start feeling it maybe down in the belly, and then it's expanding up from the belly, up towards the chest. And then you can exhale whenever you feel that desire to exhale. You could exhale out through your mouth. We'll try that a couple more times. So inhale a little bit and pause. Hold the breath. Inhale a little bit more. And pause, and maybe a little bit more. And pause. And then a full exhalation out through your mouth. This is really good. It helps to strengthen the lungs and bring in more prana, more energy. Let's do it one more time. Breathing, sinking it down to the belly, pausing, little bit more into the middle of the torso, widening through the side ribs, the back, little bit more into the upper chest, pausing, and then a full release. And at the end of this exhalation, returning to more of that natural breath flowing through. And feeling your breath. You're focusing on the experience of your breath flowing through your body. Feeling the places that open as you inhale, feeling the places that release as you exhale. Starting to feel your body a little bit more too, down through your legs, down through your feet. And beginning to rock your head from side to side a few times. Loosening up through your jaw, your neck. You can move slowly with your breath. As you inhale, you're turning your head one direction. As you exhale, you're turning it the other direction. We'll do that for 2 more breaths. And this time at the end of your exhalation, come back to a central position for your head. Come back to the rest of your body, feeling into your back, your hips, your legs and feet. And we'll start with the arms down at the sides. And with your next breath in, if you want to lift your arms up towards the ceiling, both arms towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let's reach them over the head. Let's stay there as you inhale. And as you exhale, release your arms back down to your sides. We'll continue this movement with the breath, following the breath, really however you'd like. If you like moving the way I was mentioning with the breath, then feel free. If you have your own way of moving, that's totally great. As you move, feeling through your arms and also feeling through your shoulders and your upper back. And just to notice what's going on there. And do that a few more times. And this time, as you exhale, you can release your arms. And then as you inhale, let's sweep the arms all the way back up and over. And this time, let's keep them over the head, but in a more relaxed position. In a position, your elbows might be bent, your arms might be a little bit wider. See how much you can let your arms sink down into the floor. And even though we're doing this a little bit more passively, it's not like an active stretch or extension through the arms. See if you can still feel that your body's starting to open in this position. There is a little bit of, a little bit of stretch and opening here. And once you feel the release of your body, then maybe straighten your arms just a little bit more, maybe take them up a little bit more over your head. And go to that next place of sensation, of opening through the arms and the shoulders and the chest and the upper back. And see if you can, on your exhalation, really sink the arms down. Feel the muscles release. We'll stay here for one more breath. Imagine you can breathe into your arms and shoulders, and exhale out through them to help them sink, to help them release. Any bit of tension here. We're doing some passive openings and stretches. They can go really deep though. They can go really deep. So then just slide your arms down along the floor. Just slide them down. And maybe keep the hands with the palms facing up, letting the shoulders release into the floor. And we'll do a little bit of a rocking motion for the pelvis. So we're gonna let the pelvis tilt in one direction, and the belly will lift and the lower back will lift a little bit. And then tilting the pelvis in the opposite direction. So this is a good position to do. You'll need to have your knees bent and your legs will stay still as they are. And we're just tilting the pelvis forward and back. Belly rises, lower back rises, and then belly sinks, lower back sinks. And just tune into that movement and then incorporate the movement. Let it follow the breath. Move with your breath now as you inhale. Belly opening and widening, lifting through the lower back. As you exhale, belly sinking, lower back sinking. As well, on that exhalation, you can also press your feet down into the mat a little bit more too. And that'll really help your spine to lengthen. So we'll continue that a few more times, a few more breaths. And then you can come back to center and just let your belly soften, your pelvis come back to neutral. Let's slide the arms out to the sides And this time we'll let the legs slowly now move from side to side. Okay, so they'll move together in one direction, slowly lowering. And sometimes it's nice, instead of just going into the pose and holding it, you can let your body move a little bit to loosen up. If you find that you need that to start, a little bit of movement with your breath, or you feel really good just to go right into your position and hold it there and soften there. You can do that too. It's also good here to move with your breath. If you're still moving side to side, you can exhale, let your legs drop. And inhale, come back to center. Moving from one side of the back, lower back to the other. Do this a couple more times. Or if you are holding, if you want to switch to the other side. And this time as you inhale, come back to center. Reposition your body right through your hips, right through your legs and feet, coming into a central alignment. And then we'll bring both knees in towards the chest. And here too, we can add a bit of movement if you'd like to do a little bit of a rocking motion from side to side. That's always really nice. Moving a little bit more through your back from side to side. And you can also circle your legs in one direction. And you can circle them in the opposite direction. And you can also circle the legs, moving them in opposite directions. So you start with your knees in and then widen them apart in a circling motion. So you're making circles with your knees, but your legs are going in different directions. You can start with smaller circles and then gradually get bigger, spiraling outwards. And we'll move in the opposite direction now with the legs. You can start with little circles and spiral out wider and wider. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a real nice squeeze in. Rock your head a little bit from side to side. And then we'll just keep the right knee in towards the chest and we'll begin to extend out. You decide if you'd like to keep your left leg bent, foot on the floor, or if you want to extend and lengthen right through that left leg, straight out in line with your hip. On the right side, let's do a few ankle circles in one direction. And keep coming back to your breath. Move in the opposite direction with your circles. And then we'll slide the hands behind the leg and we'll start to reach the right leg up in the air a bit. You can keep the knee bent. I also like to do a little bit of movement here too. So I'll do a bend of the knee in towards the chest, pulling it in with my hands, and then a straighten, lengthening up. I don't have to straighten all the way. Just a little bit of a flowing movement to loosen up here. And then I forgot to mention, if you have your belt close to you, that's helpful. Let's do a little bit of a leg stretch here with the belt. So if you have a belt close to you, if you don't have a belt, just let me know. Okay, there's lots in the cabinet. And we can do the same thing, but this time without having to hold on to the leg, we'll hold on to the ends of the belt. And the belt's just looped around the bottom of the foot. I like to place it just below the toes. And here, bending and straightening. Then you might want to, for this one, you might want to bend the other knee. See what helps you to move through this stretch on the right side. And you can, if you're still bending and straightening through your leg, you can start to just make those movements a little bit more subtle. A slight bend and a straighten. And the pulling up with the heel. You can also pull, you can let your hands slide down the belt and widen out with your hands and pull on the ends of the belt a little bit. At the same time, you're pushing up with your foot. Okay, we'll hold here for a few more breaths. And then you can take both ends of the belt in the right hand. And you can let the left leg drop out to the side if the knee is bent, or just, we're going to try not to let, as we open this right leg out to the right side, we're going to try not to let the hips come off center. So try to stay centered through the lower back, the center of your pelvis there, as you slowly reach out with that right leg out to the right side, holding there for a few breaths. Think of really extending out right from the center of your pelvis, reaching out to the center of your leg, out through the center of your foot. And with your next breath in, slowly come back to center. And this time, if your left knee is bent, straightening your left leg, switching hands on the belt. And we'll take that leg over to the left side, and you can move in increments, start just to that first place. Where you feel a stretch here. And if you notice a release, you can start to go a little bit more down with that leg. Lifting the right hip up, but only when it feels ready to do so. And you want to keep down with your right shoulder. And on your next breath in, slowly coming back to center. And you can take the belt off the foot and lower the leg down. And let's shake out both feet and legs. Let's just wiggle them a little bit from side to side. Let the feet flop out sideways. We just did those poses a little bit today, but you might notice a difference from side to side in your legs. It's always good to tune into that, to differences from side to side. Bring the left knee in towards your chest when you're ready. For this stretch, if you want to keep your right leg extended, just a little bit of effort there to pull out through the heel, keep the toes centered on the right side, and on the left side, knee in towards your chest, circling through your ankle. And you could slide your hands behind that leg, do a little bit of movement up and down, or bending and straightening the leg. And then you can place your belt around the foot. And we'll straighten up. I like to continue to bend and straighten for the first little bit here. And really soften the knee as you extend up through the heel. This pose, just a reminder, it's not about trying to bring the leg right over your head. Think about extending up and out, creating a lot of openness through the joints of your leg, hip, knee, ankle, but also like lengthening through the muscles here, releasing a lot of tightness. You'll know which parts of your leg are tighter than the other. Breathing through it. This position with the legs up in the air is also very therapeutic for our body, our body's circulation, the lymph flow, and just in general, the energy flow of our body. Especially good to do at the end of the day. So if you'd like to bend your right knee, if it's not already bent, you can let that right leg drop out to the right side, switch hands or place both ends of the belt in your left hand. Let go through the right side. You can let your right arm come out to the side and slowly open the leg out to the left, out to the side. Feel like you're expanding straight out right from the center of your pelvis, and you're gently pulling out through the center of that leg. A few more breaths here. When you're ready, on your next breath in, come up slowly and extend out through your right leg, switch hands on your belt, left arm out to the side, anchoring your left shoulder down as you slowly come over to the right side with that leg. And again, move in stages. You don't have to go right to as far as you can here. Whenever you feel like you'd like to go a little bit deeper with that leg, moving it over and down, coming more onto the right hip. And nice, slow, steady rhythm to your breath. You're helping your breath breathe you. Your breath can breathe your body, but we're just helping it a little bit. Staying tuned into that sensation of breath, sensation in your body where you feel this the most. Slowly coming up when you're ready. Straighten the leg. One more time, straight up towards the ceiling. You can also pull on the ends of the belt a little bit at the same time that you're pushing up with your heel. And letting your belt come off your foot. Slowly take that leg down. And once you release right down to the floor, do a little wiggle from side to side with your legs, your feet. And put your hands on your hips, at the top of your hips there, and just feel right down from your hips, down through your feet, out through the soles of your feet. Breathing here. Imagine the breath could actually flow down the legs as you inhale. And releasing back up as you exhale. The energy current or flow is called Apana Vayu. It's flowing down. We have many different energy flows. This one flows down through the legs and out through the feet. It helps to ground us, center us, connect with the earth. Helps to calm the mind. The energy moves in the opposite direction from the mind. Okay. So slowly bending your knees again if they're not already bent. We'll bend the knees. We'll do just a little bit of a shift with the hips. This time, if you want to plant your feet down firmly, and you might feel that opposing or force that wants to lift your hips up, allow that to happen. Allow yourself to come into the bridge pose. And you might want to come up and down your back a few times, rolling up with the inhale and down with the exhale. Or if you have your props close to you, if you've got a couple blocks or something, the next time you lift your hips, you can slide those props underneath. Whatever you've got here tonight, you can slide it underneath your hips. Underneath your hips, your pelvis. Coming into the supported bridge pose. It's a wonderful restorative position. I do recommend when you're in this position, because you get a natural lengthening of your neck here. I tend to recommend, unless for some reason you find you really need maybe a little roll underneath your neck, but most of the time here we want to just be flat with our head, with no support underneath the head here. See how that feels for yourself. See if this position helps your neck to lengthen. Naturally, you can do a little rock, tiny little rock from side to side with your head. Stay here for a few more breaths. Allowing your body to settle to be supported in this position, allowing your body to rest. And when you feel ready to come out, you can plant your feet again, lift your hips up a little bit, and slide whatever you've got underneath you away, and slowly roll down your spine. Take it down really slowly. Let your back sink down into your mat. Let your back release. Feel that lengthening. Maybe you can feel more of your spine touching the floor. Let's slide the hands behind the head, and just with starting at the base of your skull, fingers sliding up your skull just until your thumbs come to the base of your skull, and they're supporting the base of your skull, and you're lifting your head just slightly off the mat to lengthen here. Using your hands to position your head almost like you're trying to create more space. You're trying to lengthen and create more space at the back of the neck. Comfortably here, not doing anything that doesn't feel right for your neck. While your hands are still supporting your head, see if you can let your head go a little bit heavier. You might actually still be using your neck muscles to keep your head lifted. See if your head can go heavy into your hands. Heavy into your hands, like someone else is holding your head for you. And slowly bring it down just a little bit closer to the floor, a little bit closer. A little bit closer, and then finally releasing, letting go of your head. And just a slight, again, rock from side to side. And breath here. And tuning into sensations through the back of your neck, upper back, seeing if you can feel a shift here physically, but also energetically. See if you can feel a shift in your body. And then let's actually, with the knees bent, roll over onto one side. Let's be on the left side for a little bit here. And I'm gonna use my cushion, or my cushion for a block. Whatever you've got handy. If you've got a pillow, you can place it underneath your head. Okay, we're gonna stay here for a little bit. Breathing. And breathing a little bit more into the back. We want to get really familiar with how we can breathe more in the back of our body. There's actually more breathing muscles located in your back than in your front, and they're meant to be used, so we want to use them. It really helps increase our energy vibration to utilizing this breath, this more whole body breath. This is a wonderful way to go to sleep at night, or to when you can't sleep at night, to help you fall asleep. Feeling your breath move in and out through your back, feeling the breath, the ribs, the back widen. And feel the back release as you exhale. One more breath here. And as you exhale, bring your hands a little closer, that top arm a little closer, so that you can slowly come up, but not really up, just onto your belly. Onto your belly here. And we're going to come into a gentle back bend called the Sphinx. So, and we're going to start our Sphinx off really gentle. So usually I'll have my elbows underneath my shoulders, but I'm even taking them today a little bit further out. And this is a great position to help open up your back, to help relieve a lot of stress as you open your back in the direction it really wants to open up. If you want to try bringing those hands in a little bit closer, in elbows underneath your shoulders, you can try that too. And breathing here, breathing here. Noticing the weight on the front of your pelvis. Tune into your lower back. See what's going on there. I'll stay here for 2 more breaths. And then to come off your belly, sliding your hands underneath your shoulders. And we'll use our hands as we press down into the mat. We'll be able to lift off the belly. So you can curl your toes under too, lift through your belly, push your hands down, come up into a nice gentle arch of your back. You can start to lift your belly a little bit, but just in a very, very subtle way. We'll do the cat-cow in a very subtle way. So not a big, deep curve of the spine just yet. We'll maybe get there, but for now, we'll just start off moving through just a little bit and following your breath as you exhale. Lift your belly, arch a little bit, not all the way. And flow through just a little bit in the other direction. So not too deep of a curve through your back. And feel your spine move and let your head move. And if you want to start to deepen it a little bit more, you can deepen it a little bit more. And just follow your breath. This time as you exhale, you can lift your belly, maybe start to drop your hips down just a little bit into that gearing towards the child's pose, but we can come up again if that feels a little tight and tense to drop your hips right down. You can flow a few times with movement. Inhaling to come forward, exhaling to come back. You can widen your knees apart a bit more. And gearing towards coming into the child pose. You can keep your arms extended forward for a few breaths. If you'd like to support your upper body, you're welcome to do that too. Bolster some blocks. And if your head comes down comfortably, you can just be down on your mat with your head. It's a wonderful position to find rest, to find balance in your nervous system. It's a position that can bring us feelings of that, inner sensing. We get pulled into ourselves a little bit deeper. We can be pulled into feelings of safety and stability and security here. Imagining how we felt when we were in the womb, in our mother's womb. And feelings of safety and warmth and having all our needs taken care of. And it's good to feel that breath in the back body again, to really open up the back with that breath. We'll stay here for 1 to 2 more breaths. We'll transition slowly out of it if you want to come up with your head onto your elbows. Do a little wiggle from side to side in your hips. With your hips now staying in line with your knees, you can slide your arms out, bring your palms together. Slide your arms out a little bit in front of you, stay down onto your elbows, and then lower your head again. This is a variation that feels really nice to open up the upper back and shoulders. Some people like to bring their hands up, their elbows stay down, the hands come up. And slow, steady breath in and out. And as you inhale, if you want to lower your hands, if they're up in the air, you can Bring your head forward. And just align so the knees are underneath the hips again, or that you feel pretty supported there by your legs. Coming up onto your hands for a moment. We'll bring the left arm out to the side. And let's slide that arm through over to the right side, but the palm facing up until you can come down onto that shoulder and then the side of your head and rest here for a few breaths. Do just a little tiny wiggle from side to side with your hips and then see what place you'd like to keep them in. And staying here for maybe 5 to 6 breaths more. When you're ready to come out, you can use your hand on the floor to push down and lift up. Okay. Do any counter stretch that comes naturally to you, or any wiggle or movement. You can move your other arm out to the side, preparing to come over with that arm, palm facing up, sliding it along the floor, resting on your shoulder on the side of your head. And do just a little tiny wiggle with your hips from side to side. And find that central position to keep your hips in. Let your body relax here as much as you comfortably can. Stay for one more breath. On your next inhale, push down through your hand and come back up. And we're going to walk those hands in. And if you want, we're going to do a lunge next. So if you need support, feel free to grab whatever you got. Let's come upright first because that makes it a little easier to bring that foot forward. So you can bring one foot forward. And starting to stretch with that back leg into the thigh a little bit more here. You can use the support if you have, coming a little bit lower, so trying that position out. Again, you can do a little shift back and forth with your hips. Finding the position that works best for you. Holding it steady there for a few breaths. Maybe you want to come a little bit lower. You can rest your hands down. Letting the thighs, the quadriceps, the psoas muscle, which is really deep hip muscle. These muscles can actually tighten when we're in a state where we're in a bit of that fight, flight, or freeze state. These are the muscles that tend to tighten up on us. So really wonderful position to do to help come into balance. Everything in the body is interconnected. So doing one thing has a real effect on the on many different other aspects of yourself. Okay, you can start to come back a little bit with your hips. You can, if you have those props that you can use to come upright again. This can be nice to have because you want to maybe balance a little bit here with that foot coming out in front now. The toes lifting up. And you might feel that already, you know, you might feel that stretch already. If you can bend forward from the hip crease with your upper body, trying to keep your spine long, keep upright through your upper body there. And it's a little bit of a deeper stretch for the back of the leg. So hold it here. Centering your foot, centering your heel, centering your knee the best you can here. Sometimes if I want to go a little bit deeper, and you don't have to do this, but I'll slide my other knee back a little bit. I forgot to mention, but it's a harder floor here in the basement. If you want, I like doubling my mat up too. So I've always got extra mats you can double up, okay? Okay, Hanumanasana, that's a big one. You can maybe bring that front foot back a little bit more and bring the foot down. Come into a upright position here and we'll switch. Okay, we might, even before we switch, let's do a little counter stretch. We'll curl the toes under and lean back a bit. And then use your blocks if you need. We're gonna come up onto the feet slowly into a forward bend. And just let your upper body hang here. Let your head hang, arms hang, shoulders hang. Everything's hanging out. Okay, and then bend your knees again. You can come back down into a kneeling position, an upright kneeling position, and then slide your other foot out and come into your lunge position. If you need a bit of cushioning for that back knee, make sure you do that. Okay. I'll hold it here. These blocks work really good because then you can just kind of flip them over and then maybe eventually bring them down. And just stay centered within yourself, within your own body, your own breath. Okay, and then we'll start to go back a little bit. You can come up to an upright position, slide your foot out, toes pointing up. If you'd like to come over that leg, you can come over that leg a little bit here. Just making sure, I forgot to mention on the other side, not hyperextending the knee. So you want to keep that knee, just maybe even feel like it's slightly bent, okay? Just tiny little bent there. So you're not locking the knee back in place. And then you can slide that foot in, come back. Let's come up to that back foot for a moment. And then just turn your feet and slowly transition to more of a wide-legged forward bend, centering your upper body in between your legs, your toes pointing forward. And letting your head hang again. Okay. And then to come out of this one, let's slowly slide the feet in towards each other. And come up into a half forward bend where your hands are on your legs, your upper body's parallel to the floor. Good. And then exhaling down. And then let your head and arms hang, but root down through your feet, bend your knees, and slowly start to come up just for a moment. And as you come up, rolling your shoulders out. Moving them slowly up and down. And then moving them in the opposite direction. Good. And then we'll let go of that and we'll come back down. And if you want to grab anything you need for your relaxation at the end, before we go into that relaxation, do just one more seated pose. We'll come into the butterfly position with your feet together. It helps you to sit up straighter and taller and align your pelvis. You can always sit on a little something if that helps. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide apart. And even before you come maybe into a forward bend, you can use your hands around your legs, pull back with your elbows, opening through the front of your torso, opening your chest. And then starting to come forward from that position. You can push your feet down into the mat. If you have a bolster, I don't have one beside me tonight, but I think it feels wonderful to put the bolster. I'll just kind of demonstrate what I would do with it. I might be able to do it with the blocks, but yeah, I can do it with the blocks too. Is supporting the head feels really nice. Really nice. It's so soothing for the head. If you have maybe even just a mild headache, or it's so good to support the head like this. And then from that position, when you are ready to come out, maybe come into that lying down, reclined butterfly position. So you can keep your blocks handy if you Want to put them on the outsides of your legs. If you want to put a bolster behind you to lie over, or some blocks behind you. And get anything you need so you don't have to come back up. You can slowly come down onto your elbows first, really getting your sacrum to come down. That bone, it's part of the pelvis. It's sort of this little, just above the tailbone in the spine. It's a flat bone, so you can feel it come down and then up your spine as you slowly align from the bottom to the top. And if it's comfortable to keep your knees wide, feet together, we'll hold this position for a few breaths. And just let your body rest here. If it feels comfortable, bring your arms out, palms facing up. My breath breathes me now. I'm being breathed by my breath. My breath breathes me now. I'm being breathed by my breath. Letting go of effort, letting go of control. Moving into stillness. Staying connected and aware of that inner place within you. If you're still in the butterfly, if it feels really comfortable, then you can stay there. But if you need to come out, bringing your hands to the outside edges of your legs and slowly pushing the legs back together. You can slide whatever you have underneath your legs to straighten them out. And we'll enter this conscious relaxation. So we're staying conscious, we're staying aware of how our body feels when it's relaxed. When you're at peace within yourself. Getting really comfortable. If you're not fully comfortable and there's something you can do, just making yourself a little bit more comfortable. Letting the bones of your legs get heavier and heavier, comfortably heavy. Your legs and feet sinking down. Feel the back of your hips sink down too. Feel the front of your belly soften. And feel it move with your breath in and out, up and down. And the breath is like a wave. You can feel it moving through your body. Your torso relax and soften on all sides. And feel the space within your inner body. And just imagine it as just this vibrant energy. It's starting to glow brighter within yourself. Take that energy, visualize it. A warm, beautiful glow radiating out into all different parts of you. Maybe it comes from your center, the center of your torso, and expands outwards, up through your shoulders, down through your arms, out through your fingertips. All the way up through your neck and your head, releasing your jaw, tongue to the roof of your mouth, softening there. The weight of your head sinks down. And as you relax, as your body releases, your energy body, light body gets stronger, activates, starts to expand out in all directions. And your breath keeps it going. Breathing in and out through your nostrils, this beautiful light energy. Maybe there's parts of you that you can direct this energy to go to get a little bit stronger. Maybe there's parts of you that you don't feel as much, or you feel too much. And you can Visualize that energy getting stronger. Healing your body wherever you need to be healed. Maybe it's around your heart area. And think of an inner light and also a flame that's burning. And in that flame, maybe it's around your heart chakra area. You can picture it, and it can burn up anything that is not serving you, is not for your highest good. So it can just burn it up a little bit. And you decide how hot you want those flames. You can turn them down a little bit, or you can turn them up. Dissolving, burning up anything that we no longer need to carry with us. You can place your fingertips lightly at your heart center. This is where we feel. And it's also where we can repress feelings. So you just want to open up to allow and keep that openness as we begin to come out of our Shavasana, wiggling your toes and your fingers. Doing anything that feels good. Maybe it feels really nice to do a full body stretch, arms over your head, legs and toes pointing outwards. You can begin to rub the palms of your hands together, generating more heat, friction, and energy. You can let that energy come onto your face, onto your eyes. The hands are directly connected to the heart energy. So that healing vibrations come through the hands onto the wherever we need it to go. Okay, and then you can roll over onto the side. You can stay there for a moment. Don't rush up to sitting. Don't rush up. Just take your time. And we can take that moment, the next few moments, just to feel into ourselves, where we're at now. Bring a hint of a smile to your face. And feel the energy that is generated from your smile, from your beautiful smile. It opens your heart. Keep coming back to our smile, generating out. It's a way to generate our love out into the world. We can send peace and love and wishes out into the world tonight. A ripple effect from our center out as far as we can imagine it going. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be peaceful. I would like to end with the universal healing sound of Om, and then followed by Shanti, which is peace. And it's another way to send that out. So if you'd like to join me, you're welcome to. We'll take a deep breath in. Om. Shanti. 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 Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much.